Hey y'all, how we doing tonight? So, the sinking feeling of getting a new job and realizing that it's nothing like they tell you it will be in the interview. I just started working recently as a registered nurse in the field, like pediatrics. You go into their homes, and they conveniently left out the part about the violence. During orientation, our instructor tells us about one of the nurses got her nipple bitten so hard that it was bleeding and they had to go to the ER. And, so I was ready to leave, and, they're like, no, your body parts will stay intact, it's fine. But I was like, look, as much as I'd love to take a chance on this dumpster fire of a job, I think it's gonna be really hard when my backup is exotic dancing and I have a chunk of titty missing. I feel like my champagne sales are gonna go down at least a solid 30% year over year. So now I'm unemployed. I recently learned as well how exhausting I am to talk to. And I didn't know for years, I really didn't, because I had a roommate out of college in Florida, Tammy. She's a lovely middle-aged woman, and she would always commend me for how thoughtful my responses were to everything. So I would give her thorough responses. And, sometimes I would notice her nodding in and out a little bit, and I'm just she's just really into it. Well, it turns out years later I find out that homegirl has narcolepsy. And the thing is, no one else in my life really has that luxury of an escape when I'm, droning on about how AI is going to predict the next pandemic or something to that effect. But it's definitely really affected my dating life. I had recently met an ER doctor doing stand-up, so we're already off to a good start. So he kept begging me to go out for a drink. And I kept putting him off, and then he said, finally I acquiesced. I'm like, okay, but I'm a lightweight. He's like, me too, don't take advantage of me. So, your girl could have been all cute and flirty, but instead I said, well, sir, please feel free to preserve your saliva and save that for the essential enzymatic processes of the body like digestion, because you can leave your rape whistle at home for the evening. And we never got that drink. But he doesn't really have an excuse because, he has quite easy access to sedatives. He also has a way out, so trying to figure out what to do with that one. But yeah, so I have severe ADHD, and it really surprised me recently to learn that only 5% of the adult population has it. I thought it was way more than that. But I realized, of course it's gonna go undiagnosed, because most of us are gonna leave our keys in the freezer or go, before we even get to the psych appointment, or go down a rabbit hole. And that's what happened to me recently. I unfortunately have Bing as my home browser. We won't dig into that. That's for another day. But I got sucked into a story about 16 ways that you grew up without a father. And they were all wildly unhinged. And then I get to number 11 and it was you have trouble with authority figures. I'm like, fuck you, Bing. How are you going to tell me about my abandonment issues? But it was enlightening, because I always thought it was just because I was a Gemini. I'm realizing that ADHD must have a genetic component, because my sister and my mother also got diagnosed as adults. And that's fine. But the thing is, Adderall, that shit is so bad for you. No judgment, it's scary. It's just slightly chemically different than meth. And the thing of it is, my mother, she just turned 60. What a babe. And she tells me that her doctor just prescribed her 20 milligrams of extended release Adderall every day. And I'm wondering how this is okay. I'm like, what is the MO here, Doc? Are you trying to help her find her misplaced latest edition of AARP, or just hope that she, gets amped up and strokes out so then she has something to focus on? No, 60 is not old at all, and I asked her if I could do this joke. She really is a babe, and she was like, yeah, I love Adderall. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with that, because I don't want to do any HIPAA violations, but also I'm trying to think maybe that's why she left me at Hebrew school for years, and now I can reconcile that. All right, this was so much fun.